So I'm not sure if this is a video that's been made or not, but I figured I'd talk about it because it's interesting and it's important in my opinion. This is about pretty much a game that I still kind of adore, but not with the release of Rocksmith Plus, obviously. Because it was just incredible to be able to be taught guitar in a way that I can understand. And like Jesus, like I owe my music career to Rocksmith, and it's just sad to see it go down this route. And I'm not really one of these people who think, "Oh, change bad." Nope, not like that. I've changed my tastes many times, and also changed as a person. I've seen games change for the better, actually. Like if you look at Beta, Deep Rock Galactic. Yeah, Deep Rock is in a far better situation now than it was, say, 4 years ago. But my main quandary, qualm, or whatever you call it, fuck's sake, don't know my words today. It's to do with Rocksmith Plus and how. Sorry, I'm distracted by fucking scenery. Yeah, so. Oh, that's my place, Jesus. It's not good. Pretty much. I'm fed up with Rocksmith as a franchise, I think, because Rocksmith Plus, from the get-go, I know was going to be a slippery slope. And also, let's be honest here, Rocksmith 2014 can be pirated now. It's not because of CDLC, it's more because the DLC is a physical download, although it probably can be cracked even if it was hidden. You can actually still upload and send people these CDLCs, not CDLCs, I mean official DLCs. And that's not a problem, to be honest, but if you're removing songs from the Steam store, that's allowed to happen. People are allowed to upload that because you've just removed this property that many people own and some people wanted to even learn, but now it's gone from the store. It could be a good thing in a sense because you could end up learning how to read tabs, which I sort of have. Although the problem that I have, which Rocksmith helped with, is that I developed a muscle memory to sight reading. So that's sort of the problem with tab reading for me, and also playing guitar even outside of Rocksmith. I can still play it, but it's not as good. So I wanted to talk about why it's in such a bad state and why I haven't even touched it since the beta. Rocksmith Plus, just from the basis alone, there's a subscription-based service now. It was doomed to fail. Because whenever something goes subscription-based, it means they don't have much to offer you. If you look at Rocksmith 2014 versus Rocksmith Plus, you'd see that 2014 has much more to offer. I'm not sure in the way of lessons or even guitar-cades, but I'm guessing it's probably better, especially for beginners. I'd still recommend Rocksmith 2014 over anything else. But with Rocksmith Plus, you don't really get the accessibility of Rocksmith 2014, although you probably can get it. It's not obvious. And this is based on the beta again. So that was the first actually big issue with it, subscription based. You're probably not getting as much as, say, 2014. And that's frustrating as fuck. Another thing is customizability. One of the things I liked about Rocksmith 2014 anyway was the fact that you can have like repeat notes shown. That for me with sensory issues and global learning delays. That helped. The fact that you could show repeat notes and not cover it up with a different icon, which confuses me. And now that's gone in Rocksmith Plus, it's frustrating. It's actually unplayable to an extent. And that's something I've reported in the beta, and I even made a forum post about it, for fuck's sake. I even asked, how do you change this? And nobody had an answer. Just major yikes. I'm going to turn the notifications off of that. But anyway, I just don't get why Rocksmith Plus even exists, and the third issue with the beta was a lack of song choice, and yeah, you could say, duh, it's a fucking beta. It's not a full release, and the problem there was that for a beta, it didn't give you a good first impression of the library that you're going to have. Like, I remember playing a few jazz songs, and I don't even know if there's any metal, actually. I don't think there was, actually. Which is kind of embarrassing. But anyway, because that was the thing, people weren't very optimistic about it, and again, because it's subscription based, not only is this a red flag for, well, quote unquote, let's not do as much as we used to, because that's the thing that developers do with live services like this. It's also to do with, like, I don't know how to describe it actually, but very much in Rocksmith 2014 it was hard to get licenses anyway. And it's definitely possible to get licenses from big bands, like we have fucking Megadeth on there. That band's huge. So what's annoying really is that they're not reaching out to get these bigger licenses, or even like putting the extra effort in. Like, they just send an email, I think, to the record label, and that's it. And they can also contact the bands personally. Like, you have Dragon Horse as well. You have Trivium, because of Matt Heafy being on Twitch. You have Leo on Twitch. I reckon you could get Silosis, because Josh Middleton also happens to be on Twitch. Like, there are bands on Twitch, or members of bands, and you can get connections that way and get the songs in game. And there is no game more worthy of it than Rocksmith, because this game changes people's lives. It's more worthy than like a fucking Guitar Hero clone or something, or rhythm game, anything like that. And again, it's frustrating because there was so much potential of it being a live service, and this ties into the fourth big issue with the beta. Fourth big issue is community content, for lack of a better term. Community content is pretty much what it sounds like. It's a bit like the modding communities in other games, but you're having people make these things that are officially licensed, but they may not be 100% accurate. Like, even I admit this as someone who transcribes music. I'm guilty of not transcribing it well, but at least I got the notes right, and that's what's important. But it takes practice. And the discouraging thing about that really is not the fact that people can do that. It's the fact that the developers aren't doing it. That's a red flag, again, because it just shows that it's left into the essentially consumer's hand to actually do things for the game, and that's just fucking lazy. It just fucking sucks. It just frustrates me so much just thinking about all this. I wanted Rocksmith Plus to actually prove me wrong, to actually do well, but it's not, because it just hasn't done anything. It's just sitting there like a stale bread. It hasn't aged well, and it was never a good bit of bread to begin with, and nobody wants a slice of it. That's how you know it's bad. I suppose this is just my groveling to say, like, I appreciate what Rocksmith 2014 did to begin with. I'm not going to stop playing it, because actually I started enjoying guitar again recently. Even though I fucking suck, I still play it. And I know there's probably a lot of Rocksmith Plus diss videos or diss raps, whatever you do these days. I'm not the only one who's complaining, but at the same time, looking between the two, it's obvious which one you should choose. And the reason I'll never even risk a subscription to Rocksmith Plus is because I know this other thing, the fifth thing, supply and demand. I actually think it's admirable to give small bands a chance, and I have discovered great bands through Rocksmith 2014. Crimson I might have listened to a bit of. I tried to, actually. I only liked the one called Stop, but I gave them a shot. I gave Bush a shot. Hail the Sun is fucking incredible. I just madly in love with that type of music, because it's got this creepy vibe to it in some of the songs, lyrics, and the guitars are incredible as always. There's never been a single song I don't think I've disliked. There has been some, but there's no songs like, looking at like how Metallica makes music now, I don't feel that with Hail the Sun years on from when they started. Although I haven't listened to them when they started, but you get the point. Like most bands I've listened to have really good starting points, and then they just go into this sort of stupidly simplified thing. It's a bit like Periphery, I suppose. Like Periphery went downhill pretty quickly somehow after Hail Stan, or during it actually. It's frustrating. The point is, the supply and demand isn't being followed, and that's why they're failing. That's why they're getting desperate, and they're making now cat memes with Rocksmith Plus because they're desperate. Like, they're using fucking animals to get attention. It's pretty pathetic, to be honest, and I'm not a judgmental person by any means. But at the same time, you have to treat things fairly, and when you're not being treated fairly as basically the consumer or the guitarist, what are you supposed to do? And the reason I distanced myself from Rocksmith 2014 was because there was no longer any DLC. And on top of that, I was inspired enough by it to make my own music. Although it's VST metal, it's still music, isn't it? Like, I've sort of handcrafted it. It just works. So yeah, when people are asking for Megadeth or Metallica, meet that demand, but also give the people who are requesting smaller stuff a chance. That's how it should work. And like, if you can't go with Megadeth, then maybe, I don't know, Opeth, who I'm about to listen to soon. Like, I don't know how you rank bands, but I would consider Megadeth like S tier in sort of popularity wise. Silos is maybe A tier, Architects 2. So you need some of them if you can't get Megadeth or Dragon Force for that matter. I consider Dragon Force S tier. And then go lower if you can't get them. What's the point? And then with bands who are not popular at all, you obviously give them a chance. You put them in the library. Yeah, that's not one, minus the bear. Really good music. I strongly recommend them as well. Really impressive guitar guitar work. So yeah, oh yeah, that God, that's another one. I've discovered so many good bands through Rocksmith 2014 alone. The fact there's nothing on Rocksmith Plus that interests me or anyone else, it goes to show that the game's going to shit. I'd be really interested to know the subscriber numbers. And Rocksmith 2014 is obviously good for the CDLC content you wouldn't see in an official game. Like, say, you can play retro music in 2014, you can play anime soundtracks, insane shit like that. That's the magic of it, really, and why people love it, I think. Not just because the song library was big enough as is. Like, because I almost guarantee you that if I removed all the CDLC from 2014, I'd still have enough DLC there to play that would basically satisfy me. So yeah. This pimple. I think I'm getting out there. Damn it. I got distracted. I'm just fed up with Rocksmith Plus. And I don't really know what to do at this point because at the same time I want to risk it to see what enjoyment I can get out of it, if there even is any. Yeah, no detection was a problem in it. I forgot about that. That was another massive issue, which everyone was having, like compared to 2014. Like 2014, at least if you had the volume stupidly high and register notes you're playing. So yeah. I won't wish Ubisoft any luck with that shit, to be honest. Like, Rocksmith Plus deserves to die at this point until they can meet the demand. So that's that, really. I'm interested to hear what people think, but as a Rocksmith 2014 player, I have zero interest in Rocksmith Plus. But maybe if it was free, like, give people a free trial, and it'd probably work, and the requirement for that should be like a semi-old Ubisoft account. So that way that people are not cheating the system by creating new accounts and getting access to the full library. Because if it's a controlled trial, it's suspicious. It reminds me of why I fucking hate this, but there's just the websites and software that make you pay for a free trial. And that just sucks. You just need a reliable system to actually work. Like, even if it's just like phone numbers, have a registered phone number so you can get a free trial. And also IP lock it maybe, and make sure the trial only works when you're using in game time and not out of game time. This way, people who maybe miss it or don't have the time, they can have all the time they want to try it. It's still waiting there, like, say 10 years from now. So again, it's a disappointment. I'm just lost for words, really, because there was so much potential. So much that could be done. And it's just wasted. It's wasted on bands that nobody knows about. Who, to be fair, can be really good, but again, where's the library and also where's the technical support? And the fact is, I think it's even a mobile game. Like, is it actually on the Play Store? I'm interested. I think the fact it was aimed towards mobile as well, it just goes to show that it's gone downhill. Rocksmith. Yep, it's on mobile and 2.8 stars. Nice. Usage is above it as an ad. That's got 4 stars. Jesus Christ. That is embarrassing. The game is so bad that another game is being promoted, or another service even. Jesus Christ. Anyway, again, interested to hear thoughts, and hopefully this reaches the right people, but in good faith terms, please fucking listen to your community. Because at the moment you're failing them, and eventually you have nothing left. You have nobody. And that's how it works, really. That's how games go to die. They don't listen to the community.